Hey everyone, Starshine here. Welcome back to the MSO Tournament where I'm about to start the round 2 of this wonderful tournament. And without any further ado, let's start this game. Alright, so what do we see on the board? I think we have a very similar board than we had in the first round, right? In the first round we had a single 5 sheep tile which produced a lot of sheep. And otherwise there were bad numbers on sheep, to say it friendly. And that tile will be probably again very important again, because there might not be that much sheep in the game with the 3, 11 and the 12 as the other sheep numbers. Also, very interesting, we have a very high wood brick ratio. 12 points of brick and 17 points of wood. That is really much. Of course, we should also mention that it is a center desert board, which means the starting settlements might be a bit tough because are not so many free hex spots available. But alright, let's see how this plays out, right? Of course, green takes the 5, 9, 10 as the first spot, which is pretty obvious, I think. It's the best sheep and the best ore tile. Afterwards, we see the 6, 9, 10 by blue, which is also a fine pick, I think. It's the best wheat tile and a reasonable wood brick ratio for the beginning. I of course thought about how this could place out. That's why I also picked the 5, 8, 10. Because I was pretty sure I will get the 3, 4, 11 on the way back, which also was correct. And my thought because of that was because I will now get to the 6 wheat probably. The 6 wheat will probably be opened because as we can see, blue will also take the 4, 8 and green takes the 4, 5, which means I will have a very good expansion spot, which also gives me a lot of wheat with my third settlement. With the first 7, red gets blocked, which is pretty interesting because I think green is definitely very, not ahead, but definitely in a very strong position. He also started with the free road, which makes him a very big target for me, especially with the 9 ore. I see red also has a very good expansion spot with the 2, 4, 9, placing on the additional ore. But I think green with the only good sheep tile has definitely something that is very strong. Blue and me get a bit lucky there because blue also must have stolen an ore from red, I guess, and also got the wheat trade from her, which makes him build a city very early on the 6, 9, 10 and puts him of course in the lead. He might have the problem though that he does not get any sheep, which is a bit disgusting for him, I guess. Also, I think the 311 is not the best expansion spot. I of course have to block green in my opinion, because he's my opponent for the 3, 6, 12. But I was lucky and got an ore. I did not really expect that, to be honest. I mean, I was paying attention, of course we rolled a 9, but that was not my intention, to be honest. But we take it, right? The 5 and the 10 are not hitting that much, that means there is not that much brick in the game. But with the 5 finally rolling, we're getting there, right? I also want to get the wheat, of course, and I made a pretty good deal with blue. We traded 2 for 1 wood for wheat, and he honestly didn't want to trade that, but I promised him that he will get the sheep port. I mean, I'm not really sure why he wanted the sheep port, but he did the deal, so we take it. I think the 3612 is valuable enough to do a 2 for 1 deal, because the wheat is, of course, otherwise a very big problem for us if we don't get too many 11s. With another 5, green gets another valuable sheep. A 5 with a sheep this early is almost like a free card, I think. Because with blue getting no sheep at all, me and red only have 3, 11 and 12, that is just insane. Of course, you can get extorted if players are in voice chat, but that was also not the case in this game, so... I did a brick for wood deal there with blue because I expected to get more brick than wood, right? I have the 5 and the 10 and the 8 wood, but that turned out a bit, wrong, considering, yeah, you see it yourself, right? 8 was rolling there, and blue also gets the settlement with that. Unfortunately, I had to 7 out. It could be worse, of course, because we only lose for wood there. But of course, it's still very unfortunate. I also switched my target with now stealing from blue. I didn't expect that we rolled another 7, though. So probably I should have 4 for 1 my wood there. But on the other hand, I couldn't have known that we roll another 8, right? They're also not really lucky with the steal there because green gets our wheat, which is also kind of unfortunate. He afterwards also gets a very good deal with red, I think. 2-for-1 deal. That's pretty valuable for him. I mean, it is also cheap, right? So makes absolutely sense. And he places on the wood port first. He could have also taken the free 11, which I think I would have also personally done because the wood port is not that valuable. And the free 11 gives you definitely the option later to connect. So if you don't get cut off there. I also knew that blue had the plans to go for that spot because he was placing on the sheep port and wanted to have all 5 resources. I'm not really sure if it's the smartest move, but it definitely also made sense, I think. The first 10 was unfortunately blocked, but on the other hand we get an 11, so we are not complaining. With 8 and 5, we're also getting the resources for the settlements, which is pretty nice. Another 4 gives an ore. The 9 is then again, of course, awful. And then we have a very interesting deal from Oxer. He wants to get the free 11 because he told me he had a rope building in hand. But I was, of course, hesitant because it's my only sheep I'm trading away. I ended up doing it for all of his hand, saying, okay, the 2 wood are basically the sheep again because I will 4-for-1 that again if I don't 7 out. So my deal was very risky, but I wanted him to get there because I think green is in a very strong position. He can connect very easily. He has the strongest sheep tile, the strongest ore tile. So I think green is in a very good position at that position. So I think cutting him off is definitely nothing bad. Blue, on the other hand, is of course also not bad, but it's alright. Red gives me a very easy deal. Thank you for that, Evanly. That allowed me to build a settlement and a city, which was awesome. It didn't hurt me at all also that red sammed out, although that is of course super unfortunate for her. She decided to block the 6 then. I think she could have been more aggressive there and maybe also block the 4 ore, considering we both need the ore to get the cities up. Of course it's blue's only wheat type, but I think blue is not as much the target at the moment. With another 7, I get solo blocked, which of course is awful, but it is also reasonable, I think. I think we are definitely lead that position. We are also not blocked for long because red is also getting blocked with another 7, and we get a sheep, which is great. I have mixed feelings with the 10s, because that also crushes my monopoly on brick. I mean, it's not a monopoly on brick anyway, because 6 is also there, but I don't know, they also get wheat. Afterwards, Oxercise is again buying another death card, which makes a lot of sense considering no one is going for army so far. And I then get super lucky with rolling an 8, which is exactly what I needed to place down 2 roads and the settlement. With another 4, we also get a lot of ore, which gives us the possibility to place down another city super soonish, especially with Oxercise rolling another 4. I can really not complain about the dice so far, I think. Oxercise got another progress card with the Year of Plenty this time. He can manage to place down a city, but I think he's still a bit behind, considering road is probably not the biggest option for him. I got again pretty lucky with a 5. I mean, it could have been also an 11, but we don't ask for too much, right? With a 5 we can port 3-for-1 for the missing wheat and place down the next city. With another 11 rolling, there is again a much sheep on the board, which does hurt green a lot. But on the other hand, he has 15 cards. I think that this might be his least problem. He then, of course, goes for a longest road because he knows I win with one road. We were pretty close at that point of the game, but yeah, we didn't get the right rolls, right? I mean, we also can't complain about that. Octus has very badly 7'd out, losing all of his cards. Only managing to place down a road on his turn then. With another 4, we're also getting close again to another city, and we of course try to fish for the wheat, and surprisingly, we are also getting that, because I did really not expect that. Red does trade that. I guess she needed the brick to go for the spot she wants to go on her turn, which is the 2-5, cutting off green. But I'm not really sure if that's worth it to put me on 9 points. I think green is close, for sure. But I'm not sure if he's that close that you give me the 9th point there. Really interested about your opinion on that. Another 9 is of course awful, but we got the 3, we're fine. Exercise also buys 2 more death cards, which gives him maybe the lead in the army race. Red again makes a surprising decision, playing an aggressive knight and blocking my 8 wood. I think that is a fine move at that position, because otherwise I have a very easy win condition, right? I only, of course, with quotation marks, need 4 roads, which is not too much. On the other hand, she trades green again, a very easy deal, and then he places down a city. Also, too bad that Exercise has a mono, and he monos the ore to be very safe there, because otherwise it is of course again getting close for me. With a 10, I cannot do much, but I decided to place down a road, and I think it is okay to give up on longest road on that position, just because we only need 1 more point, so our settlement is also enough, and we can do that slowly. Heavenly also got again unlucky, and he decided to give her the deal so she can place down the settlement on 2-5, also putting her on 9 points. But on the other hand, I think that might not be the worst idea, considering that green might only need 1 more settlement. And with this cutoff, he does not have another settlement spot, which means he relies now on buying death cards. So I have mixed feelings again with that deal. Red is getting closer, but on the other hand, you put green back so much, right? Again, our 8 is getting blocked. I think that's a very smart decision, because 8 definitely gives us the win. That's a wood and a free card. And I have a very interesting decision to make on my turn, because I need 1 wood or 1 brick to win a game. I can't 3-for-1 the brick, and so I of course looked up who has what. And I ended up with Exercise must have 2 bricks, just because he placed down a city, so he has the brick left in his hand, right? So unfortunately for blue, I'm pretty forced to steal from him, considering I have a 66% chance to win the game at that point. And I am also lucky enough to get the brick there, which makes me win the game. Woohoo! Right? That was a pretty tense game again, I think, especially with the many generous trades at the end of the game. I think there were many deals in the game that shouldn't have been done, but I think we were also favored with those deals, so I definitely think we got a bit lucky here, right? Also, I think the dice did not really hurt us too much. We 7'd out 2 times very badly, unfortunately, but I think that was okay. I think the 11 rolling once in a while, giving us enough wheat, definitely helped us a lot and made us definitely win. But anyway, I also really hoped you enjoyed watching this little video, and I really hope I also see you in the round 3 of the MSO Tournament games. Until that, have a shining day and see ya!